You're seeing it now.
Yeah. It's good. I like it.
Right, everything seems to be working. Hopefully the audio comes through. I'll just check the audio's in levels in Discord just to double sure. Let's boost his fans just in case. Ready? Have I got?
Is that your own video quality?
Can you what?
Set your own video quality.
I don't know. Can you?
Oh, where's Oh God, it's on the wrong screen, isn't it?
What?
Is OBS using the wrong screen?
Quality
Ah, damn it, it's not using the screen. We just got a blank screen. Oh dear. How unprofessional.
I usually select 720.
My apologies, everybody. I have
For some reason,
completely neglected to put the screen up.
Still broadcasting at 1398.
All right. Where do you see that in the settings? Oh yeah, yes, 1398.
Yeah.
Auto or 1398.
You can't downgrade it. I usually watch them on 720.
I might do it at a higher level or something. Let's go.
There's a screen on there now.
Yep. I just need to get the chat thing up. I completely forgot to put it back on. Where's the chat? Chat. D&D chat. There we go.
I've got it on there.
Yep. It's on now. Yeah, it picked it up automatically. Sometimes it doesn't. Okay. So we're all good. Chat in the left-hand side, main screen, and then just I didn't know what to do with the right-hand side, so I just put that in for now. Just a couple of logos and the tokens cycling through. Right.
You've got the initiative tracker on the right-hand side.
I did think about that. Like I say, just can always put that on for next time.
Yeah.
I did think about that, but then I didn't in the end. Right. Anyway, let me get out of OBS because I don't need that. Right. So, just a moment. No, not muted. So before we go any further, I thought we could, well, if somebody wants to just do a little bit of a recap while I just sort this out with Finn, and then I've got a little bit of background on the Wild Coast that I was going to impart before we went any further. Anybody volunteering?
Hang on, I'm just bringing up the journal. So last session. So we finished off everything in the Black Tower after killing off the ogre and the bugbears. Ferfook then went back with tackling to pick up Osinar and then crushed his dreams and then dragged him back to the Black Tower. Then we sent him back off home, gave him some of the money that we got from the tower, and then set off towards Saltmarsh.
Yep. So he went. So you did. So he went off back to Homlet.
To Homlet,
and then you were setting off back. Ferfook had a bit of a mental breakdown.
We had to beat him down a couple of times.
Yeah, so you had to, after beating him unconscious, you were forced to all go back to Homlet, where you
Yeah.
managed to get the cursed ring removed from Ferfook. And after sorting out a few supply issues, the next day you set off again. And then on the road, then you ended up making a detour down towards Ossington after Cade was hearing voices, which ended up with you recovering Olwain's desiccated corpse. And then you continued on your way, met some of the Grugash from Ossington, who left you a token of their gratitude. And then you finally arrived left the Gnarley Forest and arrived at Dunmarsh in the early evening. Not the same day, obviously. So you're out the Gnarley Forest and onto the area of grasslands that is part of the wild coast that sits on the western shores of Woolly Bay. So, like I said, just got a bit of background about the area, which would probably be common knowledge and quite useful. So, the lands on the wild coast are on the western shores of Woolly Bay, and has always been a rough and tumble kind of frontier place. It extends from the borders of Hardby, in the north, and all the way south to Elred on the edges of the Sus Forest, which is a dangerous forest that serves as a border between the civilized lands and the Orc Empire of the Pomage. Slavery and slavers are not uncommon, or were not uncommon, and several settlements, including Safeton, openly employed slave labour, and infamous slaver ships plied their evil trade up and down the coast. During the Greyhawk Wars, the armies of Turosh Mac, the so-called Emperor of the Pomage, burned through the cities of the Wild Coast like wildfire. Now Fax, Badwall and Elred all fell to Mac's armies and have been absorbed into the Orcish Empire, the border of which now almost reaches the port of Safeton, and Orc pirate ships regularly patrol the waters of the southern reaches of the coastline. In the common year 584, the peace treaties were signed in Greyhawk, and that marked the end of the continent-wide hostilities. Although on the same day of the great signing, Greyhawk suffered a great treachery, as Rary, who is one of the members of the Circle of Eight, which is a prestigious circle of neutrally aligned wizards that kind of poke their noses into everything. He basically betrayed the circle and killed two of the members, Tenser and Otiluk. Might recognise the names from some of the spells in the spell book, in fact. So he killed them in a great magical battle. Also, during the following year, 585, which was the so-called Year of Peace, war still raged between the Principality of Ulek and invading forces from the Pomage. Going forward to today, which is almost 7 years later, there's no longer any more open warfare, though there's lots of diplomatic tensions on many of the borders across the continent. On the Wild Coast, the Orc Empire has shown no further signs of wishing to expand its territory further north, though there are intermittent raids across what is referred to as the buffer zone, which lies just south of Safeton. In fact, it's almost you can probably see this buffer zone from Safeton. So Greyhawk also extended its lands to encompass the northern remains of the Wild Coast, which included Dunmarsh, Narwell and Safeton. They all signed pacts with Greyhawk. So on the exchange for paying taxes and what have you, they get military support. Although at the moment Greyhawk hasn't deemed it necessary to entrench an actual fully fledged army in the area. even though they have got major garrisons stationed in Narwell and Safeton. In addition to that, virtually every able-bodied adult in the area received officially received training and equipment. So if the event arose, then they could quickly they've got trained people that they could quickly raise into a militia. The area still lives in constant fear of the shadow, of fear of the masses of orcs that now populate the area just to the south, and the worry that they will renew hostilities. The buffer zone itself, which is, like I say, is to the south in the lands just to the south of Safeton, is constantly subject to militia strikes that's organised by Grey Orc. They go in and break up orc raiding parties and things like that. But there's also small conflicts between groups of humanoids, bandits, elves on the edge of the Weltwood which borders the area, and a few stubborn local farmers who sort of are trying to hang on to the homes that are still in this sort of no man's land. Population of both Narwell and Safeton has had a sharp turnover during the past few years. Many refugees, of course, fled from the vanquished cities to the south, but a lot of ruffians and dodgy types also fled the area when Grey Orc signed pacts with the area, and so Grey Orc essentially became the ruling elite over the place. Additionally, while at one time both cities had significant humanoid populations amongst the numbers before the wars, this changed during an event that became infamous, became known as the Night of Terror. Early in 584, every orc, half-orc and hobgoblin that lived within Narwell and Safeton was knifed, lynched or burned alive by the humans who feared that they might be spies from the Orc Empire. There you go. So that should be comforting to some amongst you. So the area is still quite lawless. There's still slavers. Safeton still uses slaves for construction for construction, and there's a lot of stuff that that Grey Orc, the officials in Grey Orc, overlook. In fact, Safeton is subject to curfews after 6 o'clock at night. Anybody out on the streets will be fined and or arrested. Of course, you're not at Safeton yet. That's still a few days away.
Yeah. We're only just coming to.
So you're in Dunmarsh. You spent the night in Dunmarsh, and it's the 12th of good month. The next morning after you arrived in Dunmarsh, which is a small town, and like I said before, as its name suggests, it sits on the edge of a large marsh. In fact, some of the town is like reclaimed marshland. It's not a very rich place, and it still shows signs of the war even after 7 years.
I think the main things we want to do is get rid of that plate armor. We need to identify that sword. I feel
want me to do some detect magic and then identify on the sword.
We'd already done a detect magic on it. We just need to identify it.
So that'll
the
be just a
sword.
case of, well, to find just its combat capabilities anyway. That'll be a case of just using it.
How about if I do it and you give me bardic inspiration for it?
Well, I think is that for Fook's advantage roll for doing identify on it?
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Sorry, I already rolled them.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So yeah, that'll do. That'll do it. So it's got no other than an enchantment on it, which is likely it's a combat bonus. It's got no other properties. So to determine that, it'll just be a case of using it. It doesn't require any attunement.
It's a really nice sword. There doesn't seem to be any other strange magics affecting it. So yeah, it won't zap you with electricity or smash a building down. Because obviously I've identified things quite regularly, so I'll just talk to Cade about how I try to go about sussing out what things the way a cleric would go about identifying something is probably quite different to how Cade would.
Yeah.
So, however that may help.
How many long swords have we got now then? So we've got that sword, Sword of Storms, Shatter Spike, and then there were another one, weren't there?
There was one with Keen on it. I'm not sure if we're ever going to use it. Because I couldn't figure out the way to use it in Foundry.
Oh, that's one. That's what. Yeah, it's got keen. It's basically it's got increased critical range. It criticals on a 19 to 20 instead of 20.
All right.
Which might be good because it's magical as well. But it would just the fact that I don't.
Yeah, you'd have to make a custom one. You could do it through custom.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I think that's probably the better one to keep, to be honest, unless we figure out what this other one is.
I can look at making up a custom item for it for in time for next session, if you want. If you're not able to do it yourself.
I'll have a look around. I forgot I got it, to be honest. I'll look into it further. So I'm good with getting rid of the other three completely. Nobody else wants them.
So we've got. Is that just 4 long swords altogether then, or is there a 5th one?
No, I think I've got 4. Well, I've got 3 plus this one that we're talking about, the new one.
Right.
So I've got Shatter Spike, Sword of Storm
from Vandalin.
Beaver.
So in a second, we had one that Hibberton used. Did we ever recover that one full, or is that
Hibberton kept that, didn't he?
Yeah, he kept that. He kept his sword. He kept his swords, his weapons, and his armor, didn't he?
And that ring of protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that leaves 4 magical swords that we've encountered so far, and I think we've accounted for all of them.
Yeah, I think that counts from all, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we need to look for somewhere then to offload
so
then that half plate, the shield, and those 3 swords then.
Yep. Good with me.
Would we be better off doing that here or waiting until we get to Saltmarsh to do that?
So if you want to do that here, there's not likely to be any actual business establishment that you'd be able to get rid of it. You could sort of ask around and see if you can sell it privately.
I think we'd just be better off waiting until Saltmarsh to get rid of it, to be honest.
I agree.
I think we're probably better off just...
war-torn lands, people may pay a price to get magical weapons.
Safeton, sorry, is what I meant. Yeah, but we might be better off waiting until Safeton because it's a port.
Yeah, I mean, let's pretend we're Americans. Yeah, agreed.
Walk into a war zone and sell it to the other side.
Safeton it is then. I would.
Yeah, I think we'd just be better off just carrying on then until we get to Safeton, then just set off again and then just get
Agreed.
down to Safeton then, Phil.
Okay.
Keep testing that sword out though, I would say, tackling, just so we can try and figure out what combat effectiveness it's got.
So what, like striking trees, critters?
Yeah, just use it in some training of some sort. Keep your sword skills sharp.
Yeah, you practice your swinging, I practice my dodging.
This is gonna end well.
I'll even do my high-pitched screams like I usually do in combat.
So, what's the plan then? Are you just staying the night in Dunmarsh then and moving on?
Yeah, well, we've stayed the night, haven't we?
Yeah.
Correct.
It's the next morning now, so yeah, we're just gonna set off again.
Okay. So everybody deducted the money, the cost of your stay?
How much are we looking at? Is it 5 gold?
So it's
5 silver.
it's modest, so it's 5 silver, and then you're talking like another couple of silver for stabling the horses and the wagon. So 5 silver each, and then another 2 silver on top, but that's jointly.
I'll take the 2 silver then. So I'll knock 7
Of
off.
course,
mine.
if you're gonna get some food while you're there,
What, the 5 silver doesn't cover food as well?
it does not cover food. That's just your stay.
All right. So it's just a
Um,
breakfast in the morning, simple
yeah,
breakfast.
so
then.
you're talking another couple of silver, something like that for breakfast.
Uh-huh.
First thing in the morning for Lulcast, sending to Sildar. As discussed with the rest of the chaps earlier, I'll sort of just say, reached Dunmarsh, had some issues on the road. Need to find someone to cast Resurrect on Master Olwen. Details appreciated.
Just ask him if he knows the name of someone in Safeton.
Well-
So Sildar
I mean, I've
responds.
got 25 words. So.
Yeah, so Sildar responds. He tells you to. It asks you to contact him again when you get to Safeton. Okay.
Crack on then.
Crack on. Right. So it's leaving Dunmarsh behind. There's a map, not that one. This one. Dragging everybody slowly. The rest of you just loading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Die.
Yeah, so Dialaf will turn up as on everybody's character thing, because I found a better way of like having a one to view. So he's set up as an observer to everybody. So regardless of whose tokens are down, he can always see without me having to mess around dragging an actual token on and setting around, messing around with having vision, setting vision levels for it and what have you. Okay, right, so we're all there. Yep, all loaded up.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's yeah. So you're greeted as you head out onto the road. You're greeted by a heavy downpour of rain. The temperature's dropped a little bit to previous days, although it's still quite warm. And like I said, the roads are good, so there's no real issue with driving the wagon.
The Twitch stream is still showing the picture of that village.
It'll catch up. It's a bit behind, isn't it?
Yeah, the webcams only seem around 10 or 15 seconds behind, but
Yeah, that's. I'm not sure why that is. It should catch up because it's still showing everybody at Dunmarsh.
I'll keep an eye on it, see if it updates.
Yeah, keep an eye on it. Tell me if it doesn't. It's not a major issue at the moment. So
Oh, I'm just on journey to Saltmarsh. Oh no, kicked in. My apologies.
what did we say the travel rate of the road wagon was?
Only 25, 30 miles.
Yeah, I think it was just like normal speed, wasn't it? Because of the wagon
Yeah.
and the horses. Okay, so let me see. I'm looking at the wrong part. So we're here, and there's a ferry. So this bit here is a ferry on this river. That's about halfway point between Dunmarsh and Narwell. So you should reach that about just before midday. So let's see, that's 30. So that's, yeah. Okay. Right. Is anybody wanting to do anything in particular on the way?
Not really
Depends.
now.
My and shagging a cat epic. I want to try and push that sort of base level quality of that song, up higher.
Righto.
So obviously I'm, reworking it, etc., etc. Maybe, I don't know, once a day you want me to do like a task. I want to try and hit that base where I've polished it so much that it's like a solid 20.
Okay. Right.
So that even if you're a half-assed singer, you can make it sound good.
Righto, fair enough. I suppose if you make a check on it once a day, if you crit it, then you can perform that song that particular thing song with advantage. Then sounds fair.
Cool.
Oh, I thought you were going to get.
I want something. I thought so too for a sec. Today, not today.
Okay. So anybody else? Cade?
No, nothing major.
No.
I
Luhai?
just shelter from the rain. I don't like
Okay.
rain.
Yeah, you did pay for a cover on the wagon, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We did.
But
yeah, we did.
even looking out, I don't like that. Yeah.
How about Luhai?
It's gone silent.
Lee? Lee?
Hello.
Hello?
Was that snoring?
Were you on mute then or something?
Are you wanting to do anything on route while they're on
No,
the wagon?
I'm not doing anything.
Radio.
I'm not doing anything. No.
Right, fair enough. Obould,
No, I'm doing nothing.
right, and Tackling's driving the wagon, of course, so he won't be doing much of
Yeah.
anything else. Radio.
Do you want to roll your portent rolls, Isfan?
I did 4 and 5.
Ah, right, okay.
So don't annoy Cade. Otherwise, he'll make you fail something. Okay, so around midday-ish, you arrive at the ferry that crosses the river halfway between Dunmarsh and Narwell. As you, oh, the rain stops as well, I believe. Let's get rid of the rain. Yeah, as you approach, you can see there's a queue of impatient passengers that's waiting on the banks of both sides of the river, while the ferry itself appears stranded in the middle.
Of course it is.
So the way the ferry works is there's like a capstan at each side of the river that's used to reel it in to one side or the other. So there's while there's somebody on the ferry to make sure people are behaving while they're on the actual raft, which is essentially all it is, a fancy raft. There's also somebody on each bank that operates the capstan.
You said stranded in the middle, so
Yes.
the water is shallow, isn't it?
Well, it's not shallow enough to walk through. No, it's stranded. Yeah, well, you have to. It's stuck. Why it's stuck, you don't know.
I ask someone standing around waiting, you know, what's going on.
So you, they tell you that apparently there's something wrong with the mechanism that operates the ferry. Says you'll have to speak to the guy in charge.
Where's he?
The ferry master is stood by the capstan that operates the ferry.
Wander over and sort of say, I'm sorry, freshly arrived. I'm sure you've told plenty of people, but what seems to be the issue? Is there something we can assist with to get ourselves across the river quicker?
Okay, just before is so who's going over? Is just anybody else going over with Ferfook?
I'll go over with him.
So Obould is.
I'll stay by the wagon.
You're staying by the wagon.
I'm curious, so I'm coming too.
Okay, and Tackling staying at the wagon as well.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so you three. Okay, right. You three go over. Right. Right. The ferry master explains that the mechanism, something's is not sure exactly what's wrong. There's something seized up inside it where it won't turn. He says he could force it, but that might break it completely.
I assume there are people stuck on the ferry.
Yes, there are people stuck on the ferry. Yes.
How wide is the river?
How wide is the river? It's about 100 yards or so.
Something that you can like
I don't know, Cade, are you
take apart to have a look
technically
at.
minded? Is it?
Sorry, can you repeat?
You've got a brain, the biggest one in our party. Are you able to take a look and see if you can see what needs to be?
I can have a look at it, but I'm no mechanic or anything, you know. So, is it possible to have a look at that?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
broken
by all means,
part?
you can, if you want. Excuse me. No. If you want, somebody can examine it to try and figure out.
Yeah, I like to know that. Yeah, please.
Examine the mechanism and try and figure out what the problem is.
Can I assist him with it?
Only if you have tinkering.
No.
Do I
It's
have?
not a
do I
skill.
Do I have?
I don't know. Do you? You can try
I don't
without
think-
tinkering. It's just an intelligence check if you haven't got tinkering.
Yeah, okay, I do that. Then.
I am
Oof.
Oh, wow.
on
There you go. I was born like that.
guidance on Cade before before he rolls. It's an extra 1d4 to his ability check.
Oh yeah, 1d4 you said. Yeah, I use that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So make it 28.
28.
Yep.
Wow. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It seems to be a simple problem of sorting it out. If you want to try.
Yeah, I like to try. I don't know what I'm doing, but
Okay.
yeah.
So, right. So to fix it, you need to make
20.
it.
You know more than the guy who made it.
Yeah, I think so.
So to fix it, you need to make a series of tinkering checks, but with dexterity instead of intelligence.
Sure.
And you need to make get 3 successful checks before you get 3 failures. Okay.
Can I cast guidance as well? Because it's an ability check.
You could, yeah. You also, if you haven't got proficiency with a set of tinker's tools, the checks are at a disadvantage. But the ferry master has some tools that you can use, but without proficiency in them, your checks will be at disadvantage.
Okay, how about I identified the
Thieves'
problem,
tools suffice.
and he's, I'm sure he's, proficient in tinkering.
That won't. You can show him, and he can make the check himself and see if he can see it, which would give him advantage on the checks, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a much better approach.
Okay, let's see.
I just explain him. I've seen this in books.
If he understands what the issue is, that's great. But if he still can't see it,
Yeah.
you may have to do it yourself
Yes.
to avoid the disadvantage.
No, he hasn't got a clue. He's just scratches his head and he can't. He doesn't really, whether you're not explaining it very well or whatever it is. He says, "I've been trying for hours."
It's a flangulator, man. It needs to thingamabobs.
So you want me to do it then? The disadvantage.
Well, it's up to you.
I mean, do I have
If
a
you
choice?
roll, add a 1d4 to it.
Yeah, I will.
So you need 3 successes before you get 3 failures.
Okay, and what does a success mean?
How do you mean? What does a success mean?
It'll need to be above a certain difficulty
Yeah.
class, but we
You
won't
have
know
to roll
what that is.
over what?
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
So, which you
So-
don't know.
Yeah, okay, let's roll.
I'll just keep track of whether you've got
28 to understand it
okay.
intimately.
Okay, just a moment. Let me keep track of these.
Hang on. So, I mean, this is disadvantage. So it's,
Oh yes,
And
it's
a
so
D4.
so
yeah,
it's 11 plus the D4.
yep. Go on then. So
it's
that's
a
20. Oh well, it's sorry, it's the
No,
yeah.
no, it's a 13. It's only a 13.
13.
13. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's only with disadvantage. So
Okay.
then I do another one.
Yep.
So it's 11 plus
13. Well, sorry, d4.
the D4. So it's a 14.
Okay.
14.
I'm doing the last one.
Yeah.
Hang on, this was a 9. Why is it red?
It automatically re-rolled the 1 because of your halfling.
Oh, okay.
Halfling luck.
So it's 9 plus the D4. 10. I don't think so. That's enough.
Okay. So yeah. So without you completely surprise
That's 3
yourself, you fix it with no problem. You're like, oh, you found a new talent. So yeah, you get the ferry working. The ferry master hooks up the mule to the harness, and gets the ferry back across.
I
That
turn
gets a
to
discounted fare.
free passing, not discount, free.
So he thanks you, and he offers you he offers to discount the cost of your crossing for you and your party.
To 0.
No, not to 0. So it will be a copper per person, and a copper per vehicle and per mount. So you'll have half that. So what's that? It's 5. So 4 copper instead of 8.
I'll give him the 4 copper.
I advise him to look after his equipment, better in the future. And I guess we are at top of the list to
And
cross. We don't have to wait.
Well, no, you still have to wait. You still have to wait. There's people been waiting here for a long time.
Bugger.
Yeah, Mr. Interesting turn of events if you'd have failed there, but anyway, you'll never know.
Thankfully.
Yeah,
makes you almost unwilling to try.
I guess the river would
There's so little incentive to succeed and so much downside if you fail.
Let me just get this a
Wait
moment.
his turn then, Phil.
Yep. Anybody want to do anything while you're waiting, or
Nah. The Twitch stream still hasn't updated anyway.
is it not?
No, it's still the village.
That's weird.
Which dialath is it that you're using
I
for it?
play with my instrument and then I
Sure, I had that. Ah, there it is. Oop, that worked. There it is. Let me just have a quick look. So no, dialaph's on. Yeah, he's on this thing. I don't know why that's not. Why that's stuck on there. Let me look on the. Yeah, on the screen, it's where it's supposed to be. It's oh, it's just doing the rolls now. That's, I don't know. It looks like it may be paused for some reason on the other window.
It just says game paused.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm.
Oops. There we go. Not that that should affect the stream any. That was just affecting the timer and stuff. There we go. It's switched on the stream now. That was strange. Wonder why it did that. Right. So a few hours after crossing the ferry, you come within sight of the town of Narwell, which is surrounded by a large wooden palisade that stands at least 15 feet tall. Like each section's made out of a tree, a single tree trunk, which can have a bit of a naff map, but let's see, how do we show players? Show all. There we go. So you can, there's signs of lots of construction on the eastern approach. There's a lot of farmland, and dotted around this farmland, you can see the now overgrown but still visible, like burnt remnants of houses and farm buildings and other outlying structures. So
In 2 minutes.
when you reach the city
You
gates,
guys carry on. Right back.
guards on the gates, call you to a halt and check over the wagon, ask you if you've got what you're carrying, what your business is.
Dead body, that's all.
There's the point of the dead body. Do they find the dead body? What you tell them? So they're asking you what your business is and why you're here.
Just on a bunch of them on his way down to Safeton. By way of Zulern and Pelgrin.
Okay, they don't find the body wrapped up in the tarpaulin. Okay, they wave you through. Once they're happy that you've got no trade goods, so they'll not be don't tax you for them. So they wave you through the gates into the main street.
Tax for trade goods.
Yeah. Taxing your trade, bringing trade goods in. Yeah.
Is it Lewis that came up with that brilliant idea that you could take trade goods down rather than cash?
Yeah, well, Louis were wanting to.
Yeah.
Ferfook were wanting
You
to
can- yeah, it's
start his own trade empire.
Yeah. It's
Or Lewis, not Louis,
All right.
but Lewis. Remember,
I can't remember if he come up with that as well.
he come up with the idea of taking trade goods down instead of money, and then you won't lose its value.
Oh yeah.
But what did he buy? Silver bars, didn't he?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, because in the rule in the player's handbook, the 5th edition handbook, it goes on about that hardly anybody uses coins, and it's just like bartering and trading. But again, that's just the default in the current edition player's book, which has got nothing to do with Greyhawk. Not that doesn't that into a viable way of doing stuff, because some people will like barter and stuff.
Try and find an inn for the night then.
Okay.
We can stable the horses and stuff.
Yeah, no problem. You managed to find an inn. He's looking I presume, unless you say otherwise, you're going for a sort of average.
Yeah.
Average one. You're not going for something expensive or something dirt cheap.
No, just go for an average one.
Okay, modest inn. So again, he's talking five silver each for the room. A couple of silver for stabling the mounts and wagon, and then your food for a day's food at the modest inn is 3 silver. But that's the entire day. So 8 silver covers your stay at the inn, plus stabling cost for stabling.
And then, well, for one person, then 6 silver for everyone else. Is that right, Phil?
6 silver for everybody else. Why 6 silver for everybody else?
Well, if 8 is including the cost of stabling.
No,
only one
8.
person's gonna pay for it.
8 including the food.
Oh, right, because you said 8 including the stabling.
Did I? Sorry, I meant to say
Yeah.
8 and then that not including this. That's not including the stabling.
Oh, right.
So it's 5 silver pieces for the room for the day, and then meals for the day will cost you another 3 silver, and then stabling the wagon and the mounts will
2.
cost another 2. Yeah.
I'll let someone else pay for the stabling for this one.
Okay.
Okay, right. The interior of this the city, like streets and the layout, is quite open. It's not as cramped as some towns you've been to. There's even some sort of small scale farming going off within the walls. And once you're inside the wall, you find that some sections of this giant palisade they built hasn't been fully built yet. They're still in the process of building it, and they must have started building it post-war construction.
We've got a place to stay yet?
Yeah, we're staying at an inn. Costs you 8 silver altogether. That includes the meals. Just stay overnight then, have us breakfast and set off again the next day then, Phil.
Okay. It's the inn's a gypsy and that's a poor inn. There's a common inn. Yeah, it's a gypsy and tankard. The inn that you're staying at. Right. So, not doing anything while you're in town. Just carrying on.
Yeah, just carry on.
Yeah, that good for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
this doesn't strike us as anything interesting in town, does it?
Well, it's bigger. It's much bigger than Dunmarsh. But it's mainly was or is like mainly a farming community, and like I said, there's even some small scale farming done within the inside the walls. But other than that, it's it's a decentish looking town. It's again, there's signs,
That's all good.
clear signs that it's still recovering from when it was attacked during the war.
Oh, that's all good then. Is there a small stage in the inn? I'd like to practice my set, if possible.
Oh my god.
I imagine, well, if you make, whether there is or not, if you make a persuade roll, I imagine that. No, the innkeeper's not interested in performing. Anybody performing in his inn. Thank you very much.
Clearly, these Philistines are not used to seeing culture. Pearls before swine, that's what it is. Pearls before swine.
Yeah.
Insult.
Yeah. The owner, the innkeeper's a female dwarf by the name of Thilde.
You got whiskers?
Got what?
Whiskers.
Whiskers? No, they don't have beards like they supposedly do in Lord of the Rings. I'm sure they just made that up. I don't remember that. Was that in the books? I'm sure I don't remember that in the books that female dwarves have beards.
No, I don't think they have full blown beards.
They aren't in Forgotten Realms. I don't know about the actual D&D books.
No, they don't. No, but I just remember Gimli in Lord of the Rings saying you can't tell the difference because they're like got beards. Female dwarves having beards, but I'm sure that's not. There's never any mention of that in the books.
No idea.
So
Anyway.
in none of the movies do you ever see a female dwarf.
Well, you don't know if you do or not because they've all got beards.
Okay. So we're just passing through Narwell. Let's see. That's up to dawn, so that's 13th. So yeah, so Earth Day, 13th of good month. You set off again on the road. It can't be raining again. I know. Scattered clouds, mostly clear.
carry on
Yep.
entertaining the local folks on the road, attempting to
Where's my notes? Tempting
it's
to what, sorry?
live. Performance
Okay.
roll you want me to roll, or just a d20?
Just D20. Well, yeah, performance roll. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Just double check what that is. I was right the first time. Why did I doubt myself?
This is a quick Google. Apparently, it's a Tolkien conundrum. Because in the appendix, it does say that the dwarves are identical to males,
All right.
and everyone just assumes that they're born with beards as well. But other people think they're just referring to the general physique, that they're short and stocky.
Yeah, that's what I always assumed.
That's why they mention it in the films.
Yeah.
It's a reference to the Tolkien conundrum.
Right. Right. So no, that's you don't have any massive epiphany of with your talent. Right. Okay. So anyway. See.
That off to Zalern.
Yeah, Zalern. So okay, yeah. So by the end of the day, you reach the small town of Zalern. It's about the size of Homlet. Nothing particularly special, apart from again, it's the signs of it still recovering from the war. It sits on the river called Damel's Spill, which the road that you'll be taking tomorrow follows the river all the way down to the coast to the next town of Pelgrim. Yeah, Pelgrim. The North
Is it
Bay
a
Road.
large river?
It's about the size of the one that the ferry crossed. If you're talking width-wise, length-wise, it's a long river. It originates in the fern groves in the north of the Gnarley Forest.
Doesn't care where it comes from, as long as it doesn't have to swim it.
But it passes through the centre, through part of the town, and it's there's like a series of bridges that cross it in the town anyway.
Just make his way to another inn then.
Okay, right. Same. If you're not doing anything special, it's same costs again. If you're going for the same standards.
Yeah, same standards as before.
Okay, right. You go.
Yep, attempt to perform my set.
Okay, right. You get some rooms in the Knaves Inn. Right, you can make a persuade roll if you want to perform in the inn.
13.
13. So he says he will let you perform if you pay. But there'll be a small charge in case you upset his customers. And he says you're welcome to keep any tips.
Fine.
Sorry.
What kind of charge?
What kind of charge? There will be a silver piece. And the stage
I
is
flick him a
yours.
silver piece. I'm supremely confident in my skills.
Okay.
And I perform.
Okay. So to an average performance. Nothing great. You certainly don't
Just
receive a few claps when you come at the conclusion of your performance, but certainly no, it didn't result in any violence, that's for sure, or breakages.
excellent.
That's
Grand tour continues. Yeah.
So nothing special. We're continuing on. The wagon's still
Yeah.
in Dunmarsh. Why can't I get the wagon?
It's not. You're not going back to fetch it if it is. I thought you
Yeah.
brought the wagon. I thought you brought the wagon.
Like, dude, where's my wagon?
Okay, so you're just setting
All
up
of us
again.
high on the local foliage.
Just setting up again the next day, then, yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Rightio.
down towards Pelgrin.
Okay, it's rain. So yeah, you're blessed with a heavy downpour again the next day as you set off. It takes you almost 2 days to get to Pelgrin.
Oh, knock off today's rations.
So you arrive at Pelgrin, on about around midday the second day after leaving Zulern. So Pelgrin is a small coastal fishing village, or rather a large fishing village. So there's a main road.
Port or
Sorry?
is it just
It's got a dot.
past the kind of through there?
Yeah, it's not really port. It's more sort of like Robin. Have you ever been to Robin Hood's Bay on the East
Yeah.
Coast? Yeah, it's like that. It's that kind of place. So it's got a harbour of sorts, a naturally formed harbour at the mouth of the river, but it's not what you call like a port as such. No, there is traffic through the place because there's river boats that head upriver towards Zulern and beyond.
Are we in a rush, or do I have time to go fishing?
We can go nighttime fishing if you want.
It's
can't see
midday when you arrive at Peligan.
Oh, right,
Pelgrin,
okay.
sorry, different name every time I say it.
Oh yeah, you've got like half a day then to go fishing once we've found an inn.
And that's what I'm planning to do with, Luna.
Okay. Okie dokie.
I try my luck to catch something.
Rightio.
Oh.
Sorry.
Cade, if you hang on to the grappling hook, we could get Tacklin to toss you into the surf and see what we catch.
I don't think so. You understand fishing, my friend.
That's what we're trying to catch.
I don't know. We got a hook. We got some bait. I'm sure we'll catch something. And the more bigger the bait, the bigger the fish. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, of course.
Perfect.
You show me how to do it, okay? First, and I'll.
Baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark, do do do.
Dice pool of equal to result of the other. Okay, so you can make a survival check then for your fishing.
Survival.
Ooh,
Here we go.
Natural 20.
So where is that shark?
it's a dog shark.
Doesn't matter. Shark.
Oh,
So I can mock the bar. Here you go, there's a shark.
And then you can stand
Okay, right.
close to the net.
Let's see. Random.
Just randomly pulls up a deep one.
Okay. So give us a D20.
Me?
Oh, D12. Sorry, not a D20. A D12. Yes, please.
Me? 4, 6,
Very
8,
good.
10, 12. No, that's D10. Yeah, no. Oh.
D12.
It's the chart at the bottom of the chat.
I know I'm there, but I accidentally pressed D20 as well. I can't remove it.
Press the
It's the
minus
one
button
that's
and then
a
place roll.
brilliant
Yeah.
cut.
It's
Or you
minus
can right
9.
click it.
No, it's gonna be nonsense. Ignore this roll.
If you minus it and put it down to 0 and then just press roll, then it'll get rid of it, and then you can choose a.
You can right click as well to cancel them.
I tried all sorts. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, you
No,
rolled
it's
a
fine. You've
D12.
done a D12.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But before that, I had 1 D12 and 2 D20s and a -7 to roll or whatnot all
No, I
together.
didn't roll any of them.
Yeah, I know, but I tried to delete it.
Ah,
so
right, okay.
didn't
Oh, damn it. What was that? What were you roll again? A 4. 4. And can you roll 2d20?
Yeah.
Oh, no, roll the d12 again, sorry. Roll the d12 again, because you won't be able, that won't make sense. But no, that makes a great deal of sense, to be honest.
Nice then.
Let's go
idea if it's just a flat table or what.
And 2d6.
Okay.
I'm going to keep that, Tim. That's pretty good. What was that? Okay. Oh. Not as good as the first bit. Right, okay. So is anybody else doing anything?
No.
No?
Nope.
That no
Finding
from
an inn.
everybody? Finding it, yeah.
What we're doing is just getting an in and finding somewhere to stay
Okay.
and stable.
Okay, then while you sort out the inn, Cade returns later that afternoon carrying carrying 3 mackerel that he's caught in the harbour.
3 macros. That's
Three-
it.
Yeah. Three
Magical
mackerel.
mackerel.
Yeah.
Three
Do,
magical
do, 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 do they grant wishes or something?
They start singing "Happy Birthday" when they're hung on the wall.
I was aiming for a big shark or something to show off. And you give me 3 macros on a natural 20. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay, I go to the kitchen. I mean, and ask them to prep, the 3 macros for me and Luna.
Okay.
I cannot share 3 macros because they are tiny.
Okay. Okay, they'll just charge you. They'll just charge you silver for cooking them.
Sure, I'll pay.
All right. Is there anything else that anybody wants to do while you're staying in this little, or rather this fishing village?
Nah. Just set
Probably
off the
only
next
in.
day to Safeton.
Okay. Very well. That good with everybody?
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. Yep. Okay, so it's the next day. It's got clear skies. There's a bit of a breeze coming in from the sea, so the temperature's a bit cooler than you've been used to so far travelling across the plains. But other than that, the weather's
A
pretty
question,
decent. Yes.
just while we're traveling southwards, obviously too late to do anything about it, but not have been quick to see if we could,
You have to repeat that, Lou. You break up a bit.
would it not have been quicker to get a ship from here?
Possibly, but there's no ships.
So how do they fish?
Okay.
Well,
Big
there's
coast
fishing
huggers, isn't there?
boats. There's no ships that'll take passengers,
Oh, okay.
and they'll
Can you
just
speak?
fish in the immediate
Okay.
area as well.
So do they have fishing boats?
Yes.
How big are they?
They'll be about the size of a I forgot what it's called, but it's like a
Don't
big like a big rowboat, like a size of a lifeboat on a large liner.
So okay.
So it's
Like a
unlike they'll be,
Extinguishable mast oars.
if they might have a mast. Some of them might have a mast, but but a lot of them will just be rowed as well.
So they are
Just
not
oars.
suitable for
No,
crossing the
no, they're not suitable for like going out much beyond. Certainly not good for going beyond the site of the coastline. Not
Yeah,
going
just
very far.
known as coast huggers, aren't they?
Yeah, that's fine. I just wondered if we can nick a boat or something, but no. All right, fine.
And it'll probably be much harder work rowing as well.
I didn't mean me rowing. There are other people around who are quite strong.
But,
All right.
okay.
Carry on.
Yeah. Very well. Can you all roll a d20, please?
Why is the wagon rolled?
I have no idea. Somebody got the wagon selected.
I've
Oh,
got
it's
wagon.
tackling.
Yeah. So the wagon roll was my roll.
All right. Okay. Okay. Well, you're on as you're leaving Pelgrin. A man that you recognise as another guest at the inn you've been staying in, the only inn in the village, comes running up to try and catch up with your wagon. It's human. He's sort of middle aged. He's as he runs to try and catch up. He's got a little. You notice he's got a little bit of a limp.
That's tackling to slow down so he can catch up then. See what he wants.
Right, catch you. Oh, thank you. I overheard you while you were talking last night that you're heading down to Safeton, and I just wondered if I might be able to catch a ride on your wagon. I'm willing to pay,
Yeah.
and I've got food.
Cast a resurrect.
He opens his pack and shows
Does
a pheasant and like a flagon of wine that he's got in his pack.
Yeah, well, that's for Fook sold then.
Oh, he's a room on wagon.
Yeah, plenty of room to be able to squeeze on.
Have him sit up front with
Yeah. Doesn't-
Ackley. Because you don't want him sat in the back with the
Away from
other
the
passenger.
dead body.
Mm.
I'll have a chin wag with him.
Okay.
Offer him a seat up on the front then.
Yeah. Ask his name, what's his business, any kids, is he married, does he know any good songs?
Right. It says his
That kind of
name.
stuff.
His name is Beringer. It says he hasn't. He was married, but she was. His wife was died during the war. She wasn't not in the she wasn't injured or anything, but she caught some kind of disease and sort of wasted away. So it's just
It's a
him.
shame. So what does he do nowadays?
Um, He's a trapper by trade, or he was until he had a bit of an accident, and which resulted in a dicky leg. So he's on his way to Safeton to try his luck there. See if he can find anything, just some kind of employment. He's heard there's opportunities.
Mm. I'll just discuss pleasantries with him then on the journey down.
Okay, right. He asks you how much you want to pay for his passage. He's more than happy to pay to give you some of what he's got. He's happy to pay he's happy to pay the going rate, which would be if you got a coach, it costs you about three copper a mile.
That'll be fine. As long as he shares his food with us.
Oh.
He's not a drain on our resources.
No, he's more than happy to share the food with you. Okay.
Can
Right,
I
yeah, sorry, go on.
I want to do an insight check on him though, just to be on the safe side
Okay. By all means.
while he's talking, just to see if he's hiding anything.
Okay.
Oh, perfectly trustworthy.
Nice roll.
Yeah, I mean, he seems seems nice. Not very, not most interesting to people. Just a commoner. Tells you about his wife and some of his experiences during the war. He didn't actually fight. He was they used his because he was a trapper. They used him to help feed the armies, gathering food to feed the armies that were staying in the area. He's originally from Narwhal.
All right.
Okay, we passed through there, didn't we?
You did,
Yeah.
yes. But it'd been around Pelgrin for the past week.
Jacqueline asked him for any tips and trips on trapping, because he's
Yeah.
started using and snare.
He's happy to share tips. Have you any knowledge of trapping and stuff, or your survival skills decent?
Fine.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So are you proficient in survival?
Second, I am. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. He shares some tips and some of his tips. Although there's nothing, he doesn't tell you anything enlightening. Something that you don't already know. What's that? 24 ways.
4 for my performance check.
All right. Okay, right. He's yeah. So and is quite appreciative of Ferfook's musical talents, and gives a claps along and tries to sing along.
Oh, no, that's
And
good.
is
Clearly, I'm feeling a bit
proves to be
inspired. So,
proves to be quite pleasant, if like I say, if a bit uninteresting company. Let me see. Um, pum, 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 pum.
you say he's got a bit of a limp.
Yes.
Well, since we're all bonding and everything, I asked him how he got his injury.
It tells you while they were trapping during the war, and he's a bit embarrassed to say he sort of stood in one of his own traps.
Actually forgets everything he told him about traffic.
Is he any good at fishing?
Yeah, I suppose lesser restoration wouldn't restore.
No. No, he says he's not really. He tried his hand at it while he was staying in Pelgrim, but it's not got the technique.
I tell him about my last adventure when, I'd done so well. It was so good, and I ended up with 3 macros. Maybe trapping is a better, job.
And somebody should have got a roll request, I think.
Me.
No? Did it come through?
Hang on.
Okay. Right. Where am I? Okay. So, by the end of the day, you're most of the way to Safeton, probably just 3-4 hours away. But it's getting a bit too dark to travel, so you decide to stop and make camp. Beringer offers to cook and prepare his the pheasant that he offered earlier.
Can we set some traps up?
Brilliant.
Sorry, speakers. One speaking at once.
Can we set some traps up? See if we can catch something overnight.
Yeah, I guess so. He offers to help you with that if you like.
Yeah, please.
Anybody else doing anything?
Just set up the camp as normal.
Pardon me.
Just remembered I need to buy a new tent.
Yes. There's a dead body in your other one.
Yeah, don't want that one back. Was there anything else we had to do? Sort of like a daily thing. There was no more items we wanted to identify that we needed to. We've identified everything so far, haven't we?
I think we did.
Yep, I'm just messing with sword to see if I can figure out what it actually does.
Okay, so it'll only reveal itself in actual after being
In actual
used.
combat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can do combat training with somebody if you wanted, but it's if you want to start hacking each other up.
No, I'm good.
No, I strum away. My repertoire,
Okay.
keeping my nimble fingers nimble and my voice fresh.
Thing.
That's it, really. I suppose. I suppose we normally set a watch over town.
Yeah, presumably setting a watch.
And I
Yeah.
cast the spell alarm.
Okay, and what you do? What I meant to ask.
That didn't work last time, did it?
I didn't know.
I mean, that's not my choice, you know.
Alarm spell.
Some spooky reason.
So choose a door, a window, or an area within range that is no larger than 20-foot cube until the spell ends. An alarm alerts you whenever a tiny or larger creature touches or enters the warded area. When you cast a spell, you designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. You also choose whether the alarm is mental or audible. A mental
Okay, so
alarm gets you a ping in your mind if you're in 1 mile of the warded area. The ping awakes you if you're sleeping. Audible alarm produces the sound of a handbell for 10 seconds within 60 feet.
So I'm including all of us except this new guy.
Except
But
the
I
new
don't
guy, so
know
that
it.
means he's going to set it off all the time.
Yes. And I will tell him, you know, I wouldn't wander around overnight, you know, if I was you, because I have a spell
So
in effect.
just being in the area will set it off.
No. It says touches. Touches.
Unwanted,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. So just being in the area will set it off if he's.
Let's include him, and
I don't trust him.
he can help. He can sort of sit watch with someone, so he's not by himself.
Okay, yeah, okay, I include him as well.
Okay.
And you know, it's gonna be a bell alarm, so all of us is waking up if something is happening.
Okay. So an audible alarm. Radio.
Yes.
Can Tackling, can you make a survival check? You can do it at advantage with since you've got Beringer's help. And see if that yields anything. If your traps yield anything for the next morning. If you all survive the night. Wow. Okay. Okay, so Beringer offers to do a stint on the watch if you want him to, by the way.
No, I'll be fine.
Okay. No
Yeah,
problem.
and he's welcome to sit up with one of us if he wants. But
Well, he does. Yeah, since you don't want him to do what he quite happily sits up into the early hours until he just like nods off. Sort of about 2 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, but other than that, the night passes without event. You awake the next day, get things ready and break camp. Consume some food prepared, some nice hot food prepared by Beringer again. And within the hour, you're ready to set off. You're on the road again.
Did the traps get anything?
They did not, unfortunately not.
No.
Beringer offers the explanation that perhaps it's the game's a bit thin this close to the coast.
Fair enough.
Right, so you set off on the road to Safeton. Oh, let's move that to the next day. So it's Moon Day. Oh, clear sky again. No weather, or no bad weather anyway. Oh, it's quite cool again. Somebody should have received a message again. If you want to check without revealing that you've got been sent something.
That was a bit of a giveaway right there.
Oh.
Maybe Phil, a better approach would be everybody roll.
Oh, that's
Some
supposed to. It should have
dice.
been. It
Can
should
you
have
just
been.
pick the one that you're interested in?
No, no. It should. The thing that I'm using. It should have been. That should have done as a private to roll that only I saw.
Yeah, it does, but we see that he's rolled private.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. It shouldn't have. It shouldn't have done that. It shouldn't see.
okay.
Nobody should have seen anything. Might have to test that later on. Anyway, okay. Bum, 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 bum.
Carry on.
Okay, okay. Oops, nope. I don't want to do that. Good grief. That would be bad. Oh, this could be an issue. This is
Rolling
gonna
to see
work.
my. Ooh, my voice is really off today. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe the sea air is tuned my instrument.
I rolled for my portent.
Why does that not work? No target exists. Right, I'm gonna have to try and do this like this instead. Wisp does not work for some reason. That worked? Yes, it did. Oh, that's strange. Okay. So, anyway, you're about a mile out of Safeton. You can see it in the distance when you Tackling pulls up the wagon to make a brief stop as a few of you decide you need a moment to relieve yourselves, and you can all make a perception roll.
What did you say? We aren't far from Safeton.
Sorry, about a mile or so from Safeton.
A mile.
Yeah, something like that. You can see it in the distance. Somebody should have also got a message.
Is that 20 for me?
Very nice.
Yeah, I got a 20.
80-20.
Just waiting on Lee.
Twenty-one.
Seems to be a bit in a lag, I think. Yeah. It's not popping up.
Go down your carriage sheet and then bring it back up again. That's what I have to do with mine.
What?
If it's not popping up and doing a roll, I normally have to shut down my character sheet and then open it back up again.
Can't open my character sheet.
Oh, right. Oh, that's odd.
Phil,
Oh,
I
you said
sent you. I sent you a message on WhatsApp, please, because I don't know how to send it here without anyone reading it.
okay.
Because
Uh,
it's not clear to me. Sorry.
um,
Try
Tracker
refreshing.
C, please. Work. C
Say
should bring
what?
up the character. Track
C.
C, the letter C should bring up the character as well. Double clicking's not working.
Now let's start bringing it up. Go reload.
okay.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, sorry, was it? Yeah,
It didn't make sense.
no, it didn't. I should have checked it, but I copied and pasted it from somewhere. I didn't to change it all.
Okay, so if this is the case, I like to cast a spell. I like to cast Detect Magic when he's not watching
Okay,
on him. I mean, I'm trying to look him up.
okay. Just one moment.
Just be a sec. I just
It's
need to go
appeared.
to the loo.
What the roll was now? Perception.
Yeah, perception.
And who is the nearest to me?
Oh, Andy. Who's the nearest to you? Let's see. Nearest to you would be Beringer. The next nearest person to you would be Obould.
Okay, so I elbow Obold, in the side, gently, just to
I think. Are you
get.
still here, Kieran, or did you go AFK a second? I think you went AFK a second. Just wait while he comes back.
Okay.
Keep hearing a dog barking, and I've been trying to check where it's coming from, and I just realised it's coming from.
Yeah,
flipping
sorry, I
browser.
forgot to turn that off. That was the sound effects from Dunmarsh. Yeah,
I've been
sorry.
looking around for where this dog is.
Completely forgot about that. And the rain as well. Where was I? Oops.
Perception check 24 Phil.
Yep, I've seen it. Okay. Still waiting for Kieran to come back, are we?
No,
No, I'm back.
All right. So you can continue now, then, Cade. Let's start.
So I elbow him, you know,
So
just
yeah.
to get his attention, and I point to Berenger. He wanna eat me?
So he's
And you know,
elbowing.
is my
He's elbowing Obould.
yes.
All right. And
He's
then what?
and I'm pointing to Berenger,
hmm
my tiny little finger, that he wants to eat me.
must
Yes, yes, he wants to eat me. Danger. There's something wrong.
You think he's casting some sort of charm, or
No, I don't know, but he was licking his lips, looking at me. He wanna eat me. You know, he might be a werewolf or something. I don't know, but he's not what who he says. You know, something is wrong.
I'll see if I can
Uh,
just take a closer look, Phil, see if there's anything that looks out of the ordinary on him.
Okay, can make a perception roll if you want. Somebody else
Check
should have
out
got.
this.
Somebody should have got a message, by the way.
I'll check out this box then, Phil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Not fantastic.
So I rolled a 20 perception. Did I notice anything?
no. No. Lee bet you.
Okay.
Oh God. One moment. Let's put the same thing then. Okay. Right. So nobody else sees you with this anyway. So you retrieve this box. It takes some effort to retrieve it.
Is it big?
No, it's made to look like a chest, but it's like a miniature chest. It's maybe about let's see. I'm doing this. It's about about so big. Can you see that? I don't know what screen you're looking at. It's about 6 inches across. 6 by 4 inches. No more than
Is it locked?
that. It's got a tiny lock on it, and there's a faded sort of nameplate on the front of it.
Can I make out what's on it? Right.
You can.
I'll just ask Cade what languages he knows. Quietly.
I have a spell called Comprehend Languages. I can read everything.
Yeah, but what languages do you naturally know?
Common and Halfling. But apparently, Common and Halfling is the same. Apparently, so I'm not sure.
I'm going to put it down, Phil.
No, it's not the same.
You're going to put it down. Okay. Right, you put it back down on the floor.
Where I got it from?
You're going right. Okay. Right. You takes a little bit, some effort again, but you managed to put it back where you found it.
I'll check about, see if there's anything odd area, odd happening.
Okay, you can make a perception roll.
I'll just say in Elven. I'll just say, Beringer, what are you? Just to see if he reacts.
There was no, it doesn't react at all.
And he's under some spell as well, under the effect.
Who are you saying this to, and what you say, and how you, what you saying that in?
I send a message spell.
A message spell.
Mm-hmm.
I cantrip for that, just
Oh,
out of
right, yeah.
interest.
Yeah, cantrip.
And that's who?
Obould.
Right, okay. Okay, so Luhai, you don't see anything. Everybody else has returned to the wagon.
It's definitely not right. You know, there's trouble coming. I actually move around, and I ask Boar, my dog, to stand between me and that guy.
Okay.
I think I might hop off the wagon for the moment then, Phil.
Rightio.
And then just walk alongside the driver's section where Tackling and Bessinger are.
Okay, right.
Or
Well,
Beringer, sorry.
wagon's not going anywhere at the moment. Luhai hasn't returned to the wagon yet.
I'll call for full cover.
I'll just keep an eye on Beringer then.
Okay. Right.
I'll try and act nonchalant though. I'll just stand there with using my spear as a standing post, leaning on it.
Okay. Right. He actually comes over and starts exchanging pleasantries, just small talk, talking about what you've been doing and stuff you've seen and what he's thinking of doing when he gets to say when you arrive in Safeton and.
I'll just exchange pleasantries
My
with him. But
skills are calling, so I'll wander over to go find him.
Okay.
But I'll exchange pleasantries, but I'll just keep an eye on him.
Okay. Okay, right, you wander over to Luhai, who stood at the side of this old willow tree that is where he relieved himself.
Being turned up against the tree trunk, yeah. Gotcha.
Small chest. Can you see that small chest?
Okay, points between between the roots of this willow tree and wedged in between the roots, although it looks like it's been freshly disturbed, is a small miniature chest.
It's got a name. It's got a nameplate on it. When I checked it out, and it's got my name on it. There's something strange going off. Can you have a look at the nameplate, see if it says your name on it?
Sure. I'll whip out my magnifying glass.
Don't open it though.
No. Head up to the chest and check out the nameplate.
Okay, right. Let's say it's only small. It's about 8 inches by 4 by 4. So you have to pull it out. So it's Luhai's wedged it back in between the roots where it was. It takes quite some effort to get it out. You pull it out, and there's a tiny little nameplate. There's a lock on it, like a little keyhole lock, and there's a tiny nameplate on it. And the whole thing looks really old, and it's faded, and you can just make out Luhai's name on this nameplate.
Check it out with my magnifying glass.
The nameplate or the whole chest? The whole box?
Both.
Sorry? Both. Okay.
Magnifying glass.
Right, okay, right.
Yep.
The only other thing you note of interest is that when you look closer, you can see that it's been the lid has been the like seam, where the lid hinges and the where the lid's attached. It's been sealed with lead.
Ooh.
Thought
I
thought the nameplate might change. Whoever looked upon it.
well, it's certainly highly unusual. I mean, I don't think
Did it have a
Luzai's
meaning?
name is common, is it?
No, it's not. It's not a common name at all.
Name
No.
that I shrug and say, well, I think I can see hints of lead around the seal, so let's say whatever's inside, it either hidden from magics, so you can't detect it, or located. Perhaps it's sealed, just to make really, really sure what it is in there. Yeah, hey, congrats, you've got a mystery box. And I handed it back to Luzai.
No, it's a bit suspicious.
Oh, incredibly suspicious. Go on, open it, I'll watch. Do you want me to cast some detect magics and stuff? Do you want me to do it here or take it back to the wagon? Take a look there.
Took it back to the wagon.
Sure.
Okay, so
Suppose
Ferfook and
we can get
Lose High.
sorry? Would we be able to cast? Sorry, carry on. I was just going to ask if we could. Me and Cade could cast like detect magic and identify and all that kind of stuff while the wagon's moving if we're inside it.
Yeah, you'd be able to do that. Yeah, it's not particularly violent, so it's not going to. Yeah, it'd be fine. So anyway, Lu Hai and Ferfook come back towards the wagon. Lu Hai's carrying a really rather old-looking miniature chest in his hand.
Oh, there. Well, hi.
What?
So what have you found there?
A strange chest. It's actually got my name on it, which is very suspicious.
That's quite odd.
That's what I thought.
Well, I think for the rest of the journey, I think we just need to be on the lookout then. Take a side of the wagon each. Just to be on the safe side.
Phil,
Sorry.
I'll put the chest in the wagon.
Okay. Anywhere in particular?
Does it make a difference?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. It just anyway, I suppose.
Just tossing it anywhere.
Going to.
Well, is at the back of the
Well,
wagon.
no, don't toss it. I mean, we want to cast identify and detect magic and all that kind of stuff. So, just hand it over, and Cade and I will sort of work our skills on it while we travel.
While
Okay.
Lu Hai's at the back of the wagon putting the chest in, I'll say Cade seems to think I'll whisper. I'll say Cade seems to think there's something suspicious about Beringer.
He wanna eat me.
Yeah, Cade's not there.
So he's under the impression that he wants to eat him, and apparently he's also under the impression that Beringer's under the effect of some sort of spell. But I can't see anything out of the obvious. But that's why I'm suggesting that you take one side of the wagon, I take the other. Since Berenger's sat up at the front with tackling.
So you're setting off again?
Yeah, I'll take the side of the wagon Berenger's sat on.
Okay. Is everybody else riding on the wagon?
No, I'm not. I will ride on my dog,
Okay.
and I'm behind
Behind the wagon.
not
Okay.
front. So I
Right.
keep an eye on him. I
Okay.
don't trust him.
Okay.
Who,
Right. You'll not be able
who
to
were
see him
Obould
from...
saying?
Sorry?
Who were Obould saying this to everybody?
Oh, I
No.
said it to you.
To me.
Well, yeah, said it to
Yeah.
you quietly while you were at the back of the wagon, putting
All right.
putting your little trinket in. So he's not. Well, you don't know if he said it to anybody else. Okay, so Cade, yeah, that's fine, but you can't see Berenger from the back.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Right. So
We carry on, blissfully unaware in Ferfook's case.
so Cade's not there to help you with the spell casting. But you
That's
cast
fine. Yeah, it's alright.
but Fook casts detect magic on it, and there's nothing magic about it at all. The box or anything that might be inside it.
Well, I take my time, ritually cast identify, see if it lights anything.
Nothing. There's no magic on it. There's not only it's not affected by any magic or appears to have been.
Up traps.
I try to, check for traps, and then I try to pick the lock.
Okay. Yeah, perception check then.
Coming up.
Okay, right. It's nothing. You don't see anything that looks like it might be dangerous. No sign of any hidden traps or needles or anything.
I like
I try to.
You
I try to pick it. Is that a sleight of hand check?
It will be a sleight of hand check. Do you have thieves? You got thieves tools, I presume.
Yeah, I do.
And you're proficient with them. You're proficient with with the thieves tools.
21. I am.
Yes. Okay. 21. Right. Okay. You hear a click from the lock.
If you're going to open it, I suggest getting Cade to use his mage hand from a distance.
Cade's right off the wagon, riding on his dog at the back. He doesn't even know what's happening.
Okay, let me paint a word picture to you lot. Ferfook, who's skilled in thievery, sleight of hand, larcenous edge to his soul, is alone in the back of a wagon with a little treasure chest.
Okay, so nobody knows he's doing this on the sly then.
No.
Oh.
I told them I'm definitely casting magic on it.
Yeah.
But if they think I'm stopping at it's not magical, yeah, right.
That's what I mean. You're opening it on the okay, on the sly.
Oh yeah, no,
Right, okay.
no question. No question.
Right. So the lock. So like I said, there's you hear a click from the lock.
The music to my ears.
So you're opening it.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Okay. Right, it takes some effort to open it because the lead's seal the lead that's been put into it seals it shut. But with a bit of force, you manage to pop it open, revealing the contents, which turns out to be several torn strips of parchment. Small pieces about
Disappointing.
Each one about a couple of inches, 2-3 inches long, by about an inch wide.
And
You can
Any
see.
writing on them?
Yeah, there's writing on them. Yeah.
I ritually cast comprehend languages and
It's in
then
common.
see what they say.
It's in common. The writing's in common on them.
What does it say then?
Well, let's see. So you pick up one of the pieces at random.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. So it says, the halfling wizard got caught in a blizzard and died from the frost and the cold.
Quite funny, actually.
I'm wondering who that
Like it.
can be.
Halfling wizard died in blizzard. Are you going to send these?
Sorry, you're breaking up a bit.
To write them down? Would you?
I can show you.
Them? Please.
In fact, I should have shown you that rather than.
I call over to Luzai. I call over Luzai and say, "Hey, I got the box open."
Right.
Okay. I should
Anything
show-
interesting?
I just sort of say, "Yeah, there's bits of paper and the limericks. Well, there's a limerick. Caught in a blizzard, then died from the frost and the cold.
There's 10
That's quite
pieces of
cute.
paper. There's
Wonder if I
10
could work
pieces
that
of
into a
parchment
song.
altogether.
Okay, 10 pieces.
From the same page or something?
Anyway, I'll show. I don't know. They just seem to be loose ones. I mean, at this point, Phil, is there any chance that I suspect that there's what? Because I'm slightly
Yours-
suspicious
Suspect what, sorry?
at this point, because there seems a lot of effort just to seal up. This, I mean, this is obviously odd.
It's intriguing and it's odd, yeah.
There's no two ways about it. So I'm going to cast Detect Magic to see if the paper's magic. Now that I've unsealed the lead,
Okay. So,
and
well,
see what the contents.
just to
So
be sure, it wouldn't have blocked the magic that blocked your detect anyway. But no, there's nothing magical about these pieces of paper at all.
Oh.
They look old and
so the
quite
chest wasn't
fragile.
coated on the inside.
No, it just sealed. It was just the the actual gap where the lid comes to
Gotcha.
just to seal it shut, possibly making it airtight.
Yeah, understood. Okay, so I say, well, not magical. Another piece of paper.
You gonna take another piece out?
Yeah, of course. I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so this is the. Do you want me to read it out?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll show it to. Can I do it to do? Yeah. Okay, it says those that survived did claim the prize and shared it as they sought out more glory.
Bit of a limerick / tale. Oh, I wonder, as Luzai mentioned earlier, that they potentially came off the same page or they linked together. Is there a way to like match the pieces
It
up?
seems they look like they could possibly be from the same piece, but they've been torn in such a way that they're no longer. If they did come from the same sheet, they don't fit together anymore.
Okay. Well, Luzai and I suppose, while away the next merry 10 minutes, carefully pulling out bits of paper and reading them.
Okay, so the next one you pull out, it says, the half-orc didn't make it when he tried to take it. The scent of his burnt flesh did reek.
Not liking the sound of that.
There's a message for that.
Sorry?
This is weird, Lazai. I mean, we do have a halfling wizard, and we've got a half orc. And I wonder if there's anything here about like a human bard / cleric of a Ludamara. That would be amazing.
Keeping going? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, of course. This is fascinating. I'm like swept up in the moment now.
Okay, the next one says, the friends carried on and tried to stay strong. At least they still had each other.
Oh,
So, yeah, keep going, Phil. Remember,
Right, next one.
I want to get to the conclusion.
And the next one says, oh God. Now 4 did remain through hardship and pain. They found what they long did seek.
Okay.
And the next one. These heroes and friends met untimely ends as they looked for treasures of gold. And the next one. Then the druid fought a lich, but the others would not, and that was the end of his story. And the next one. From a vengeful gnome, the bard took it hard for the murder of his brother. And the next
Does
one.
do I remember this? Is this like a ballad, like an old time ballad that has just been sort of written down and torn up, or it's like a famous song from yesteryear kind of thing from the region? In other words, it's like a
make
song.
Let me see where am I? I've covered up my. You
Regional
can make a performance check.
ballady thing.
You can make a performance check.
It's not total cack, so let's fingers crossed. Yeah. Is Cade within
wow.
30 foot of me?
Okay, right. No, it's nothing. It's nothing you recognise. It's technically you can from you're able to surmise that it's a poem or a song, and it's meant to be formed of 5 quatrain stanzas, which means 5 verses of 4 lines each. Okay,
All of it.
So the second to the last piece says, the last one alive was glad to survive, though about his lost friends he thought often. So, and finally, just wrong. When he passed away on one rainy day, the legacy was placed in his coffin. And that's all 10 pieces.
So well, Lazar, you've certainly got a bit of a story here. Poem that was written in a sort of like an accepted style. And if I had to hazard a guess, it probably tells us the story of an adventuring party, which has some parallels with ours. And it tells us that there may be some treasure to be found within wherever this person was buried. So if we could work out who these people were, local adventurers, or maybe someone more or less famous, it would tell us that in the remaining adventurer's coffin, the one who managed to survive all this, there's some goods to be found. It's got your name on the box. No idea.
What was that
Shall we try and
adventuring party made up of, Phil, in the Black Tower?
Sorry?
Adventuring party that got killed in the Black Tower, what were they made up of?
They were just normal, just
There's no
commoners.
half-orc,
One of them was the half elf. She was like a low level ranger, but the others were just commoners.
commoners, human?
Humans.
Yeah.
You know, Lazai, seriously, I think we should try and arrange these in order. On our travels, we should see if we can decipher the identities of these characters. You know, a druid dying, fighting a lich. You know, that sounds like a story worth telling. May give us, something to do on the cold winter evenings. Puzzle out who these people are. What do you think? I hand the box back to Lazai.
Okay.
Well,
Happy
I'll
to help
just
out
leave it in.
if he wants me to.
Leave it in wagon. I don't know. It's a bit vague.
I mean, are you happy for me to fiddle with these and see if I can arrange them in the right order, considering my musical abilities?
You can have a go.
Cool. Anyway, I'll while away some time, Phil, as we travel, seeing if I can arrange them in order that makes sense.
Okay. There's no roll made for that. It's just down to your personal skill.
Okay. So screwed then.
I mean, if you share it with
I'll
people,
just do stuff in the background.
Why this is happening, I like to send an identical message to the Bard Ferfook regarding, my concerns about Berenger.
Okay.
So I tell him the story, my feelings, and what I seen, what my detect magic said. So basically, I put all this in a message and just update him as well.
Okay. So Cade magically transmits telepathically or magically or whatever, transmits a message to you saying that he's a bit concerned about Beringer, that he thinks Beringer wants to eat him, and that he thinks Beringer is under the effects of some kind of magic.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Hitting the halfling herbs again, have you?
Remember, I had the same feeling with Dyson. Was I right? Yes.
I don't know. Feeling about Dyson?
Yeah, I had bad feelings about Dyson. Remember?
Okay, well, there's an easy way to sort this out. I say, do you want to come back here a second? You know, I'm a cleric, right?
Yeah.
And part of the gift that Damara grants me, Beringer, is the ability to, potentially cure people, check them for any underlying issues, and grants me certain gifts in sort of helping people along. And I'd like to see if I could maybe work on your leg, maybe sort of help out a bit, maybe ease some discomfort there. Just take a few minutes. Need to sort of appeal to Damara for some guidance. Wouldn't take more than like half an hour. We've got nothing else to do, don't we, while we're sat on the wagon? What do you say? My pleasure to do this for you as a companion.
It's been like that for years now, but yeah, by all means. So he
Awesome.
climbs
Okay, well,
off this
get
off the
yourself
front
comfy,
seat and
and
comes and sits at the side of you in the back of the wagon with you and Lou High and Obould. Oh no, Obould's off walking off to the side of the wagon, so you and Lou High in the back.
take my time, and I ritually cast Identify on him.
Okay.
I cast it as a bard, which is not quite a clerical thing, but you know, it's a whole ritualistic.
Yeah.
Which I assume to a commoner would be quite impressive. So.
Okay. Where's me gone? Just a second.
No, full. That's not how you spell demon. If you're sending me secret messages,
Sorry.
I'm kidding.
Um,
Could have played along for at least a second.
I couldn't quite even say. Oops, no, that's not working.
A halfling seeking demon. That would be.
The blizzard is not here yet, so it's not my time.
I said, okay. I warm up my hands and I cast guidance on him.
Guidance.
And I say, try. And I ask him to try and move his leg. Does it feel better? That generates an ability check of some kind with an extra D4. I assume it'll feel good. Or better.
Okay, right. So he tries to make it flex his legs. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Okay, well, you seem to have adjusted very well, and your injury isn't profound enough for I think the magics to truly take hold. But at least I can tell you for sure what the Lidamara has said to me through prayer, whatever, is nothing serious wrong with you. As far as you can tell, you are. No, carry on.
Oh, thank you.
Done.
It's a shame it didn't work, but thank you.
Yeah. No, pleasure, and thoroughly enjoyed your company. Anyway, I wander back to the. I invite him back to the front of the wagon, and I head back to the back of the wagon. And I turn around and I rude hand signals at Cade, making it clear I think he's full of shit.
Okay, Beringer meanwhile climbs
I go,
onto the front seat next to
you are a knobhead.
Okay, so
I like to respond to that.
yeah,
I'm just
by all means.
I'm just shaking my head, and you are wrong. He's trouble.
I make another rude sign. I won't repeat because you're recording. Carry on. We get to the city, I assume.
Okay. Oops, that's there. Right. So yeah, you draw close to the city gates of Safeton. Beyond the boundaries of the city in the distance, you can see um, sort of a desolate-looking area. It's probably a few miles distant, but it's a big swath of land that's been burnt and just generally like ruined. It's almost looks like a wasteland. It stretches for at least several miles further, and east and west as far as you can see. You can see like the burnt like ruins of buildings scattered across it.
I assume this is the remnants of the battle that sort of reached Shaft and then
So yeah,
Safeton,
so
and
this
then
must be the edge of the buffer zone between the boundaries of Greyhawk territory and Orc territory.
quite frightening, really. I mean, we've dealt with handfuls of orcs. We've not seen an entire sort of marching army come through before, but it must be quite terrifying.
Okay, so around Safeton, like at Narwhal, a large wooden stockade is in the process of being erected, and that's around an already large substantial wall that's part of the original city. That's quite old. That surrounds the stone wall surrounds the city and runs all the way up to the coastline, so just completely sealing it off. And like I say, they're in the process of building this massive wooden stockade on the outside the main stone walls. There's a lot of workers, and you can clearly see that most of the workers appear to be slave labour, as you can clearly see the chains around their ankles and cuffs on their necks.
So this is inside Greyhawk area, and it's slavery.
Yeah, so it's on. So um, basically, Greyhawk between the cities, the towns that are left of the wild coast, through through various negotiations, they signed a pact with Greyhawk. So Greyhawk takes taxes for them in return for military support, but Greyhawk doesn't seem to, the sort of authorities in Greyhawk don't seem to interfere too much with the goings on. So slavery has been common here for a long time.
Okay. Okay.
And
What do you guys think? See off Beringer and then
infamous
find an
or
interview.
infamous for having quite the wild coast in general, but particularly Safeton for having a wide range, a mixture of different types of people, all kinds of humanoids, and it's one of the few places near to for civilized lands, for want of a better word, that has open worship of limited, it might be limited, but has open worship of evil deities as well as like a full spectrum, not just evil deities, but they're certainly not behind closed doors.
Okay. Watch ourselves, chaps.
Sorry? Oh, so you're talking to everybody else. Go on.
Just ain't got to watch ourselves, yeah. Are you guys want to do anything special, or are we just heading in and finding a place to stay?
Is you're gonna quit now? Quit the group? And we're going to.
Well, you're not inside the city yet.
Yeah, we'll need to make us way inside the city and then part ways with Beringer then.
Where are we? There you go. That's the city of Safeton.
I'm assuming we've come in through the north.
Yes.
So is the palisade wall to enclose more land because more people came this way because of the other ruin.
Partly that, but more to increase the defences. So you can see the wooden palisade that's enclosing like sort of bits of agricultural land and
Like the town's city's grown outside of the original walls.
Yeah.
And then
Very
they're covering all that round as well.
yeah. Okay, so as you
I
approach,
suppose we head in. Is there any reason to delay?
No.
okay, as you approach the gates, a contingent of guards come up and halt the wagon and begin questioning you and well, they don't even ask, they start searching through the wagon.
Can I give them a roll, please?
Yeah, sure.
The roll is at 2.
Okay. Right,
Nice.
they come away satisfied that you've got nothing untoward stashed on the wagon, and then they begin questioning you what your business here, why you're in Safeton, and what's your intentions.
Just say that we're here to book passage on a ship.
They want to know why you're here to book passage on a ship and where you're booking passage to.
No point in hiding it from
Saltmarsh.
Saltmarsh.
Yeah, we said to Saltmarsh.
And they want to know what your business in Saltmarsh is.
So we've been tasked to go and hunt down someone in Saltmarsh by, and what's the name of the group that Sildar's part of?
The Lord's Watch.
It's probably
Yeah, I
not
just
a
said-
good idea to say that, I don't think.
Alright.
Back of the wagon, staring at Obould as he's going blah 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 blah.
So we-
Like, oh
we-
my
We're just going to get a fugitive that we've been tasked to retrieve back in down in Saltmarsh. Because that was the last sighting of him.
Right, well, one of the guys is talking to him, another one sort of climbs in through the back of the wagon and starts asking each of you what your names are.
That?
So it comes to Cade.
I'm Ferfook,
Right,
I'm
he turns to you and tells you to shut up.
performing bard.
He tells you to shut up again, otherwise you'll be fined. So we're talking to the halfling.
I greet him.
Okay, sorry.
I'm trying to be polite.
Name.
Cade Victor.
Right, he looks you up and down for a moment, and then turns to the then he turns to, right, you can talk now. Turns to Ferfook.
I'm Ferfook. Play on my instrument. Performing as I travel.
Okay, right then he turns, makes a note or something. He turns back to Cade and says, "What profession? Empty that pack."
I empty my pack. You know, I'm a traveler. You know, businessman. I trade in shoes, and I show him my fancy shoe. Do you want to buy a shoe like this?
So
Right, he pokes at stuff with his boots. This looks like some kind of spell book to me.
It is a spell. It is a spell book. Yes.
Since when do shoe traders carry spell books?
I have a main job and I have a side job.
Right, he picks it up. I'll be taking that.
No, you are not. That's not happening.
He looks at you. Excuse me?
That's my possession. You are not taking it.
We'll be taking it into our possession until you leave the city.
Nope. I'm not entering the city then.
Then it stays in my possession until you're escorted to the away from the city.
I voluntarily walk away from your city. Don't worry about your city. That's
Right,
my
you can
book.
stand outside, get out of the wagon and stand out the back.
I take my book with me.
He says you'll take the book when I give it to you.
No. You know, he's not touching my book.
He's already got your book.
Okay, he's dropping the book. 1 sec.
Right, he whistles, and a couple of other guards appear and with their swords drawn. So we're going to have some trouble here.
Can I snatch the book from his hand and I cast a spell?
You can try and snatch the book from his hand if you want.
What do I need to roll for?
What
that?
would that be? That will be it'd be a hit roll to try and grab it from him, I guess.
Actually, I like to do it the other way. I cast a spell, turn myself invisible, and I snatch the book.
Okay. Okay, right. You use action to turn yourself invisible.
Yep, I do that.
Radio. Okay, right. So the guard sort of staggers back as Cade disappears. He's sort of taken aback for a moment. You can try and grab the book if you wish.
Yeah.
Do it with
well-
advantage. That'd be a hit roll to try and grab it off him. Will not count it as an attack.
So is it an unarmed strike or what do you mean?
Yeah, it's just. Let's have it be a dex roll, actually. I
Oh,
think.
the dex roll. Sorry.
Yeah, that'd be-
Okay. I do it dex roll.
Dex is probably more likely, not trying strength for it. Okay, right. You managed to snatch. So the book is dragged from the guard's hand and disappears.
And I'm moving away as fast as I can.
Okay, right. The guard gives a shout and pulls a whistle from his tunic and blows on it hard.
Hang on. Oh yeah, I can't cast a spell bugger. Okay, yeah, sure.
Right, you jump out the back of the wagon.
And I'm moving away,
Okay,
far away from the city, the opposite direction.
okay, back north then.
Yep.
Right, right. So the wagon is surrounded by by 2 or 3 contingents of guards.
And I can't cast.
what's going on, guys? I just missed the last 5 minutes.
Did you? Oh dear.
Everything just went sideways.
Is it you popping in and out? What time?
Yeah, I was trying to recover my sound. It just wasn't playing. Eventually it did. So I got from WhatsApp, Cade is invisible from
so
casting,
the
and someone
guard-
tried to hit him.
Yeah, guard was going through his belongings, recognised what he suspected was a spell book, and took it, said he couldn't have that until it would be confiscated until left the city. Cade wasn't happy with that, so he made himself invisible, then snatched the spell book from the guard, and jumped and fled out of the wagon. The guard has basically called more guards, and now the wagon is surrounded by about 3 contingents of guards.
To put my hands up as though showing that I've got no weapons in my hands.
Well, Beren just sat there. Whoa! What's going on? What's somebody else doing?
Oh, just there seems to be
Well,
some
this
sort of
has happened rather-
misunderstanding.
Okay, one at a time because I can't hear everybody. So, what's the Fook doing?
Still been a bit of a shock, considering I've been 5 minutes trying to get my sound back. Sat in stunned silence, just like I didn't hear any of it.
Okay, very well. And what's Ferfook doing? I don't know. I just asked Ferfook. What's Levi doing?
I'll raise my hands and get down slowly from the wagon.
Okie dokie. And Obould doing the same. What about tackling?
I'm not on the wagon anyway.
Oh, you're not on the wagon anyway. And what's
I was
tackling
walking
doing?
alongside of it, wasn't I?
You were. Yes.
I'll just put my hands up as not holding any weapons. I say I think there's been some sort of misunderstanding here.
And what's tackling doing?
Tackling a follow suit. He'll play it safe with these guys.
Okay. Meanwhile, Bose leaps off the back of the wagon and barking runs off back north along the road.
Now, for Fuchs recovered his thoughts slightly, say, gentlemen, no. Our deepest apologies. We hadn't realised there was restrictions like this in place. Are we permitted to camp outside the city until we book our passage? Because, you have to appreciate our spellcaster, is going to be boarding. So he would need his accoutrements, some way to bring his accoutrements and with him to be able to book passage and board the boat. So our assumption was that it was absolutely fine to travel through. We were just simply passing through the city. Or is there some other arrangement that you make for spellcasters that travel through your fine town?
Right, the guard who was questioning Cade comes over and says, "Number one, the halfling is now wanted by the guards. If he attempts to enter Safeton, he'll be arrested. Number two, anybody wishing to enter the city must have bound weapons. Any spell-casting accoutrements are to be confiscated, along with armour, weapons, and other things that anything else that we deem inappropriate. They will be confiscated by the guard. You'll be issued a note. You can and they will be returned to you when you leave the city by handing in the note."
Okay, so
You
to
said
be
this in
clear-
the first place. You said this in the first place instead of grabbing items from people and ransacking the cart.
I told
Could
you,
have come to an
little friend,
understanding.
that the spellbook would be returned to him or when he left the city. Are you questioning?
Then grabbed it
are you
anyway.
So are you questioning my authority here?
You sergeant? Sergeant of the guard?
I am a guard of the city of Safeton, and I operate within its authority. Who are you?
Oh, where's your sergeant?
It's none of your business. I'm asking you a question.
I say, Lazai. I said, Lazai, there's no need for us to try and teach the gentleman how to do his job. I'm sure he's done it extremely well for an extremely long time. So, if we wish to book passage on a boat, and all our funds need to be confiscated or bound, etc., we retrieve it before we board the boat.
Yes. That would be the
Do
case.
we? So you bind it here. We get a receipt. Then we go and
You can
book
request
passage.
retrieval at the customs office, and it will be delivered to the customs office, where you may take receipt of it.
Okay, I understand. To camp outside your city walls, so we can make our arrangements.
If you wish to camp outside the city walls, you can do so, but not within a certain vicinity of the city walls. You must be at least a mile distant.
And what?
Otherwise, you will be charged with
1 mile
vagrancy.
distant. Okay.
First, there is
Okay.
the,
No,
there's
thank
the
you
case.
very much.
At first, there's a case of a fine.
For the halfling.
For crimes committed. Question the guard. You're in the company of a potential fugitive. So there will be a fine
B?
of a gold piece, which is payable immediately.
Okay. Do we get a receipt for this gold piece?
No, we do not.
If we pay the fine, does that remove the wanted status on our
It does
on our
not.
friend? So how do we remove the wanted status?
By your friend submitting himself to the guard and deciding whether he becomes whether he's imprisoned or not.
Since it seems to be a misunderstanding of some sort, is there any way that we
Then
can
there shouldn't be a problem.
sort this out without the possibility of him going to prison?
The magistrate will decide that.
Okay, well, it is here's your gold piece, and I hand the gold. Sorry, I wasn't clear. Do I get a receipt for my gold piece
You do not.
to make sure that we're all? So there's no. Okay, I understand.
So
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your explanation. Gentlemen, shall we turn around, head north for some distance, sort ourselves out, and make some plans for the morrow?
okay, right. He takes your
Yeah.
gold and they get your wagon turned around, and most the extra contingents of guards disperse while these stand and watch until you've disappeared from sight.
We looked past what
Anyway.
the village to the west.
Sorry?
It looked like we're on the west side of Safeton. Seems to be like a little.
There's some small a set of farms.
They're all behind the wooden palisade, though.
No, just to the west, outside the palisade, there's a.
Oh, just under the word. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
word Safeton.
So what you're gonna steer the wagon down there instead of heading north?
That's not a mile out, though, is it?
No, it's not. It's nowhere near a mile out.
No, we head north.
Yeah, just head
Well,
north.
as soon as we could follow that little track to a mile, but that's not what we want to do. We want to try and find Cade.
Yeah.
And the dog went north, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll just
we
have to go
basically follow
north
the dog
until we
because we
find the
won't be able
dog.
to-
Okay, right. Yeah, head north I know for about half a mile or whatever, and eventually catching up with Cade's dog. Presumably Cade's nearby.
Yes, I am.
So I call that cheerfully. Cade, you're now a few Safeton guards. Congratulations.
Sorry, you broke up. Can you repeat, please, the last 2 sentences?
You're a wanted man. Halfling, rather.
I shrug my shoulders. Okay, and
I'll see you.
I'm not going into that town. They are naughty. It's not happening. You're not touching my spell book. No one ever touches my spell book. I'm not parting with
Well,
it. That's out of question. I'm finished without it. No.
so, yeah, it looks like they're surprisingly strict. I mean, I haven't encountered this level of strictness before. So, I mean, chaps, my thoughts are one of us goes in passage, and we make all the arrangements on behalf of the party. And then we either make arrangements for the boat to pick us up outside of Safeton city limits, then have to deal with the local lot if we can, or try and smuggle in invisible somehow, which is very useful. Or we disguise Cade, and then make our way to the boat. Because we're going to have to work out what to do with the wagon, because pretty sure we won't be able to get the wagon on the boat.
So
2 horses, so we may need to.
I think the first option would be the best. I don't want to mess with them. God knows what they are capable of, and you end up in trouble as well if, I'm disguised or invisible and, they get this, they discover us, and you end up in trouble and prison as well. I don't want that. So the
We're going to have to.
safest way is the first option, in my opinion. Also,
I think
we need to
the best way to. I was going to say the best way to get in, I think, is going to be to split up.
Yep.
One lot goes in with a wagon,
and sells the wagon as well.
and then the others go in on foot. But we might have to use the north entrance and the south entrance.
Just out there, we've still got the body as well.
Yep, we still got the body. Yeah, luckily
Yeah.
Cade made sure that they didn't find that.
While we're chit-chatting across the sending. Sorry, say again.
I was going to say, I think Cade will have to go in with a wagon, but he'll have to go in underneath the wagon, invisible.
No.
I don't think he wants to risk it.
I don't want to risk it because we all of us end up in trouble if they figure it out somehow. I'm sure they have options for this. So
Well, that's why we're going to say take the wagon down to the south and come in from the south entrance.
and
I think that's a good idea, actually. Hiding under wagon and invisible.
Yeah. Because then they can't search you, they can't get your spell book.
I know, but if they discover, there are spells to see invisibility, and I turned invisible in front of them. So.
But how long does your invisibility last?
1 hour.
Then you cast it before we get to the gates, and then it'll last while we get into the city.
And do you think you can sort out traveling arrangement within an hour? I seriously doubt that.
No, but we can get an inn within an hour, and then you can just stay upside in the inn itself.
In the inn.
I'm no. I'm a wanted man apparently there. I don't want to risk this, I mean, I done nothing. He wanted
Yeah,
my
but,
protection. So
yeah, but we can keep you in the inn until we book passage, and we're ready to set off. Then you can use your invisibility again until we get to the ship itself. Because I doubt
no.
we're going to be able to take the wagon with us on the ship, are we?
Okay. He said
No.
1 mile. That's the city limit. Yeah. How
Yeah.
about I or we go alongside the coast and I find a boat, a rowing boat I can hire with some rowmen, and we row in for a mile, and you pick me up from the ship. I mean, with your ship which you are sailing, and then I'm not breaking any of the stupid rules, and you are not risking, your, life for me.
Mm. That's certainly another option.
Out
I-
this for an option.
Sorry.
We all get on the boat,
Yeah.
and Cade uses his giant bird magic item to fly the other side instead.
Well, no, it's a hell of a lot simpler, guys. Sorry, I was just working it through just to make sure I had all the stuff. Um, who can cast walk on water?
No. Can you? Oh, then
Yes.
then we are sorted. Haha, brilliant.
So
Do realize
what we can
walk on
obviously
water can be quite dangerous at sea.
And besides which, I think someone walking across the sea is going to be quite conspicuous.
It's outside of the city
of
limits.
course.
Who cares?
Not if you're invisible, though.
Yeah. So my thinking is either one of us goes in to make arrangements to book passage. We need to decide what we do with the wagon, the horses, dead body, and then we need to make arrangements to how we actually board the boat. So my suggestion is we book the boat, we find out exactly when it's leaving, and we make arrangements for the boat to pass by, or if maybe there's a village south of here, which I think there probably isn't because of the buffer zone or something like that, and then we say, right, we'll meet you outside the Safeton city limits. We have people walking over to the ship because we don't want to pass through the town, and we see how that goes. I assume, considering the relatively lawless state of apparent shipping in this joint, a bit of extra coin will probably cover that. What do you guys think?
I like this idea. It's really good.
The next stop would be down in Cantonal, then, wouldn't it?
Ooh, ah.
Cantonal. Eric Cantonal.
Well, that depends. That depends entirely on the ship, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we'd have to sort something out with the ship. But we'd need to make those travel arrangements first before we know if we're going to have to be, or going to be able to make a stop at the next city along. But that's also going to have its own rules. If this one's strict, then the next one's going to be strict.
Yeah, or can you guys hear me okay?
So don't
Yeah,
forget
you
binding of
sound quite
weapons.
quiet though, Louis.
So don't forget that binding of weapons and things isn't an uncommon practice. Obviously, this is stricter than a bit stricter than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the massive dose of low charisma thrown in. But there must be places along the coastline where the ship could come in relatively close to shore. So we don't have to go to another town. We just need the ship on which we book passage to come within 2 miles, have a calm sea and come within 2 miles of the shore, and we just walk away over to it.
So the sort of ship we'd be booking passage on, though, would be a deep water ship, wouldn't it? It's not going to be a coast
Yeah,
hugger.
but I mean, deep water is, this is what I'm saying, it may cost a bit of extra coin just to say, okay, can you guys, instead of heading due east out to the harbour, you head southeast, come in towards the coast, a place that you know is relatively safe, and the rest of our party will join us. Passage already booked, paid for.
A sailing ship, even if it's deep water one, doesn't need. It's only like 3-4 meters, maybe 5, below the water surface. So it doesn't have. I mean, it can come to if the bank is rocky, then you have an immediate drop. How does the seaside look like? Is it like a Copacabana beach or is it a rocky one?
Can't see from here.
Okay. So
From you can't see, obviously you can't see what it's like in Safeton, but from here the road follows the coastline, so it's only a short walk to the coast.
What do you mean short walk? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, hour,
an hour at the most. But it's mostly cliffs.
Okay. If I rise up in the air, can I see from a vantage point? If I'm, let's say, 100 feet up in the air.
What are you trying to see?
The seaside, trying to establish, is it a rocky one? Is it a flat one?
Right. Well, if you looking up and down the coast, you can see there's variation. So some places where you are at the moment, it's a cliff sides that runs for a few miles in either direction. But beyond that, there's beaches and small coves.
Okay, so a sailing ship can come to the seaside. I don't know, half a mile, even less than that, depending on
Well,
the
yeah,
terrain.
it'd be possible for a ship to get so far into the coastline, and then somebody could either row out or even swim out if it wasn't too far.
And even in
One chance swimming.
in medieval times, even deep water ships, when they needed maintenance, they run them to the bank,
Yeah.
till them over, scrape off all the animals and whatnot, moss and all these things.
Well, there's going to be an estuary just a bit further down than Safeton, isn't there? Which is for the river, the Wyverns Run.
So
river.
we don't need to cover 2 miles with the water walk, maybe a couple of 100 feet. That's it.
But again, like I say, it all depends on the ship and the captain.
So who wants to get into? I mean, are we comfortable with this plan?
So you would probably be better off making plans after you spoke to a captain rather than telling a captain.
Yeah.
Making plans and trying to coerce a captain into going along with your plans.
So, while we're having the chit chat, I say, oh yeah, I told Sildar I'd tell him when we got to Safeton. So I burn a level 3 slot and I cast sending to Sildar and I say, hi Sildar, just arrived at Safeton, run into a little shop called the guards trying to work out how to book passage to Saltmarsh.
Anybody responding to that?
Couldn't really hear it, to be honest.
Oh, you might have to repeat yourself, Louis.
I just tell Sildar we've arrived at Safeton.
Oh,
We've run into a bit of trouble with the guards, and we're looking to book passage to Saltmarsh
right. Okay, right.
tomorrow.
He responds that that's good. He has been able to regarding your other question from a few days ago. He's been able to where's that gone? Where's it gone? Why can't I see that? Right, it's on the other side of this. Through contacts, he's been able to locate someone who might be able to perform the service that you require. It says you should look for the temple. Is it temple? Let's have a look here. It says you should go to the. You should look for the Temple of Pelor in the Freeman's Quarter of Safeton and speak to High Cleric Alunda Pegason. Did you get that? Hello?
Which quarter was it?
The Freeman Quarter.
And what was the name?
High Cleric Alunda Pegason in the Temple of Pelor.
So we've got two things to do then. We want to split the party in three. One wagon and horses, one book passage, one go to the temple.
Yeah, but we're running the gauntlet of trying to get the wagon through the guards again with the body in.
We first need to book passage, understand what the requirements of the ship are. That's one thing. The other thing is with the cleric of Pelor, we can ask him, what are the requirements or what's needed to restore someone to life. I can do it with some guy's big toe. Hey, Cade, like fun there. All he needs is someone's big toe, ball ring or whatever. That's all you need. How much, of course.
Just send in 2 people without the wagon first, just to go in
Agreed.
and find out.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I think me and Cade should stay with wagon. Obviously, you shouldn't be going anywhere near town anyway, so. So between you three want to go in, and
I mean, yeah. I mean, do you want me to go try and book passage, or find out the requirements for booking passage, and then someone else goes to talk to Pelor, priest, cleric, rather, and then we meet back here at the wagon.
Yeah.
We need to hide the wagon as well from the road. Drive it in a bush or something, so it's not obvious we are.
No,
camping.
you guys are there, so yeah.
You'll be staying with a wagon with a campsite.
Full that there's probably a few other travelers in similar situations, so there might be a bit of a group a mile out of the town.
Well, it's possible that might happen, but you don't come across anybody. Beringer speaks up at this point. Says, I know you might have forgotten about me in the excitement, but what am I supposed to do now?
Well, you're not wanted. You can still go in.
I said, I'm not risking going through risking the guards after that.
Yeah, sorry, Beringer.
This place has a reputation as it is.
Do you want to come with me? I'm going to walk in now. I mean, what time of day is it? Is it like late or is it like early?
We were about midday when we got there, wasn't it?
Let's see. Yes, because because you'd camped the night before, just like a few hours out. So yeah, it's not even. It's probably coming up to midday-ish now. Yeah, or just after.
I mean, I'm happy to go in, but I'd prefer leaving my valuables with you guys and just wander in, sort of dressed in my normal clothes and cash. You know, my they'll probably take off me, but
Well, that's staccato.
So
I'd do the same.
to go see if I can book.
If I go in, I'm just using just taking my money pouch with me and me. Well, that's it. Just wear my normal stuff. Couple of rings.
Okay. Right. Well, do you guys want to set up a camp, and me and Obould will walk into town? Beringer, you're welcome to come with, or you can wait till tomorrow. It's up to you.
Yeah, why not? Probably best not to stay with the fugitive.
I divest myself of. It's not much really. It's just a shield, a breastplate, a couple of daggers. Can you carry daggers like normal daggers, or do those get bound as well?
Well,
all weapons are bound.
Yeah. At the very least, they'll get bound, potentially confiscated. You might get away with a dagger, you might not.
I'll just leave all my stuff in at the wagon. Feels nice wandering around without that breastplate on. So okay, Obould, ready when you are. Take my instrument of it.
Set off then, Phil.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of the logistics of getting all the stuff in there that we need to sell as well.
Well, that's a question we can ask once we're in. I don't think the guards would be particularly helpful.
Nah.
So will we make the guards again? You know, after a bit of a bumble down the hill, 15 minutes walk, really.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so what's everybody else doing? So tackling Cade. Is Luhai staying at the wagon as well?
I think that would be a wise thing because we have this Behringer guy who is fishy.
Beringer's
It's
going
coming with us.
He's coming with me.
Oh, okay. I missed that. Sorry.
What's Luhai doing? Hello. Lee? Have we lost Lee?
Not muted himself, has he?
No, it don't look like it. You get a little icon in bottom right hand corner.
Sorry, I'd. Right. No.
Ah.
I'm stopping with Cade in the wagon.
Radio. Okay, so Beringer, Obould, and Ferfook. So what did you say you were taking or leaving behind? Each of you?
I'm leaving my weapons behind. I'm just taking my money pouch.
Okay. And Ferfook,
Same, except I'm bringing my.
same except you're bringing what? Sorry.
His musical instrument.
Ah, okay.
Oh, there'll be a charge for taking money into the city.
Yeah, a tax. Or they'll confiscate that and you can get it back when you leave. Minus a few gold.
No receipt, of course.
Okay, right. You leave. You make your preparations then, and set off walking back to towards Safeton, to the north gate, I presume.
I thought you were going to the
Aye.
south gate.
No, it's going to take too long to walk round and then. Well, I don't know if we could do.
I mean, they'll
Just to avoid.
more suspicious who knows.
Yeah, but just to avoid the north gate guards, it might be better to walk round and to the south.
Known to them at the north now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd suggest walking round to the south.
Yeah, won't add too much much
Okay.
time on. Half an hour at most. Okay, right. So you head
Okey
south,
doke.
leaving the road, and to I don't know, what, about half a mile away from Safeton, or
Yeah.
closer. Yeah, about half a mile.
Yeah, just walk around the edge of the farmlands.
Yeah, and circumnavigate. The edge of the around Safeton to make it to head round to the south gate. Okay, right. You're about halfway round, following sort of a low, opposite side of a low rise to obscure you from any from sight from anybody who might see you. When you can make a let's see. So I don't need to do that. Where are we? Just need to check this because I've got this. Wow. Right, you notice. Right, Beringer's having trouble keeping up with you. He keeps complaining about his leg.
Hmm. Oh dear.
Which
Is
doesn't
it,
seem unsurprising since he's been travelling on the wagon, which is why he requested joining on the wagon in the first place.
I try a few cantrips. I try on him to see if it helps ease him, if it's like sort of finding an easy path through the route we're following. Don't know if it improves anything for him.
Try and take the easier
try,
route for him as well.
Yeah, I don't really have anything. I've got cure spells, but he's not. It doesn't look like he's taking damage. He's just having a rough go of it, I assume.
Yeah.
Spending a long time on his bad leg, kind of thing.
He's having to stop every so often. I'll just carry on. I'll just catch you up when we if you wait, if I fall behind, wait when you get to the gate, and I'll catch you up. Just need to take a rest every now and then. That's all.
Okay, I mean, I don't want to leave him alone out here, so yeah, sort of happy to take a few extra breaks with my instrument.
Okay, right. You appreciate
keep our spirits high. Make sure we keep ourselves hydrated, etc., etc. Forms into a werewolf and eats us both.
Right. He says, thanks for that. I really appreciate that. He turns to Obould and says, perhaps you should run over that way, and you can make a wisdom save.
Oh.
Oh, here we go. Wisdom.
Oh dear.
Joy.
Right, you and you just run at full pelt directly away.
Oh dear.
Right.
Spotting this, I assume I understand what's just happened.
You can make an Arcana check if you want.
Well, I've seen command used, but do I get advantage on that at least?
Yes, it's within your class, so yeah.
Let's see, how does this work? How it works. Just rolled once.
What? Are you rolling my advantage, aren't you? Or is that
Already.
Or has it done it?
No, it was only one.
I tried, but I don't think.
Roll again, and take the higher. There you go.
20.
Ooh, nat 20.
Oh. Okay, right. You recognise it as a command spell. A first level spell.
Last hold person on Beringer.
Okay. So will require an initiative now. No, wrong table. Wait a minute. Combat. Create combat. Can we add things in?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, we can't do it like that. Yeah. You need tokens, don't you? Oh, well, we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Theatre of the mind. Right, so...
Sorry, do you want me to just roll it?
Yeah, just roll it. I can't set it. You have to... we'll see how this long goes on. I can always drag some tokens out if need be.
Am I rolling as well?
No, not at the moment. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, you've got initiative.
All the webcams.
Can
on
he
the
save
team are
for?
frozen. Sorry.
Save for
Wisdom 15.
Wisdom 15. You can. Okay.
I am,
Oh, you got a movement left.
as far as I can, 30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll back up 30 foot as far as I can from him.
Right.
Saying, what the
Right, bonus action.
are you doing?
Right. He goes, it's been a long time for Fook. He says that he's like pulling something from his finger. As he like while he's gesturing.
Oh no.
As he pulls this thing from his finger, his body starts to shift, and he grows. It begins growing in
fuck.
size. And as you like glance back, as you start running away, you see a figure you recognise, a monstrous troll figure.
Hey.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
and you must make a wisdom save.
Mm,
I'm back.
Is it that one that ate the other dwarf?
It is Lyodon, your friendly elf troll. Oh dear. Oh, well, that might be good.
Transformed.
Yeah, Lyodon the transformed. I think that you might be okay with that. Okay, yes, you say you've right, nothing happens.
I now realise why the whole person didn't work, obviously. But I am very upset that my identify on him hadn't actually highlighted the fact that he was, in fact, an undercover troll.
Yep.
How do I cast? Right. It's a shit spell cast, but I'm going to have to go for it. I cast blindness on him.
Cast what,
to
sorry?
make a 50 blindness.
Right.
So it's Constitution save of 15.
Okay, right. He gives a shriek and ah! It seems to have worked.
Thank fuck for that. I run as fast as I can towards where Obould left. And
how does that work? Does it get
I
a save
cast
every round? Is it?
to save every round.
Yeah. Okay. Right then. Okay, right. You spend a round running away. Right. The meanwhile, Obould, you stop. You regain control of yourself and stop running, just as Ferfook comes running towards you.
What the hell happened there?
I assume over my shoulder can see who it is.
Sorry?
Assume Obould looking past me, behind me. I'm
Yes.
doing the running man.
Yes.
Can see what's behind me.
Yes, can see a large troll
Ah.
coming towards you.
Where were Lyodon from again? Sorry.
He were from the Sunless Citadel.
Oh, then I'll recognise him then.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. I'm not like wasting time, wasting breath explaining what's going on when Obould can just see for himself. Sorry, chaps. It's 11:30. Shall we?
Yeah, we can leave it there.
Shall we park over here?
Yeah.
May take a little while.
I
Shit.
think the webcams had frozen on the stream as well for quite a while.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Oh, they have, yeah.
Things were popping up on the screen, but for like say map of Safeton and that picture of Lyodon, but
So I think it's OBS that's frozen.
yeah. Lou High's been as animated as ever though.
Is it just the image? Is the audio being fine? Or...
I don't know because I've kept it on
right.
mute
Oh, well.
because otherwise it comes through me PC
Yeah,
speakers.
yeah. Okay. Well. So, I guess we'll leave it there then.
Yeah, the
Until-
audio has been coming through.
Alright, cool. So we'll leave it there until next time then, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
chap.
you.
All right.
See you.
Have a good one.
Alright, see you later.
See you later.